the top story that captivated you, grabbed your attention through the year. Sarah, what was it?
This is downer. Or I shouldn't say downer. This is very serious. It's the Israel-Hamas conflict and the war in Gaza right now. I remember when the attacks on October 7th happened, and I don't read the news on the weekend. It was a weekend, and one of my staff members flagged it and was like, "This feels different. This feels different than your usual Middle East conflict," and that's what we have on our hands right now. We have the first, I think, war in the Middle East in Israel, with Israel, I should say, since the Yom Kippur War, which was 40 years ago. And I think it, if I compare it to the war in Ukraine, that conflict escalated slowly. We could kind of see it happening, but this happened so quickly, and it's so complex, and the impacts globally. You're seeing people have to have an opinion on something that is incredibly nuanced, and it's dividing communities, not just in the Middle East, but around the world. In Edmonton, we see it. So that to me is enormous, and I think it'll have ramifications for years to come.
I'll bring it home to Canada, but it is worldwide, where it's inflation and the rise of the cost of living. I think it's had massive political implications and social implications. As a CEO of a social service agency, we see it on the front lines where folks are really struggling right now. We've just come out of the crisis of COVID, and there's been no reprieve. People can't afford their homes. They can't afford their cars. They can't send their kids to sports, things like that. We see houselessness in a level that we've never seen. Society is really struggling right now. And on the political side, I think that's where Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives have come right in, saw an opportunity, and have really grabbed that conversation. And that's why I think they're connecting with the electorate is in the way they are. We'll see how it goes. There's still a lot of time before the next election.
It's the same thing. It's housing, it's inflation. It's all over the work that we're doing as an organization. And also I'm taking a look at how we're approaching it. What are we doing with international students? How are we going to combat things? Those things are really top of mind for me. But I'm with Katherine. I just don't know how people who are on a fixed income, just have a job. Seniors. Mm-hmm. I know my mother-in-law, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying, the CEBA loans are all coming up. Well, she has a little driving Miss Daisy business that went out of business during the pandemic, and now she owes $40,000 or $60,000 in a couple of weeks, and her mortgage rate is going up the year after that. And she's like, I actually have to sell my condo in order to pay for this. The CEBA loan actually is a big deal because it's tied to you personally as well too. So she can't go bankrupt.
What? Wait, what?
Yes. She can't go bankrupt. It's tied to her personally. And if she doesn't pay it, then her son has to pay it. So she literally is going to sell her condo to pay this $40,000 bill.